you can see this is, Oldecam coming to you from his little office today, and because the air conditioning makes noises, the air conditioning is off, and it is hot in this room when I'm doing this. My spring chick isn't here to use this today because she is currently at an event covering it, and we'll learn more from her tomorrow about what she's doing today. But here we go today. Sanctions to spark civil war in Zambia tells Security Council. Well, they've been in a de facto civil war for years because they're causing problems. Hurricane Bertha weakened to Category 1. Well, there's plenty more out there that are going to be Category 3s before the season is over. Why did the 2 missing U.S. soldiers found in Iraq, the families say? The families were given news that they wished they had no doubt because they were hoping that their son would come back alive. Woman tells transportation safety officers at Reagan National Airport that they beat her. Well, probably the tape showed they did, but the tape also doesn't unfortunately show what caused the altercation to happen. The devil is always in the details, as they say. Obama seeks background information on Senator Dodd, and that's primarily because he's looking at somebody that's older to balance out McCain on this security issue. And Dodd, basically can do that, but unfortunately it puts an old man, succeeding him if something goes wrong, and the Democrats don't want somebody McCain's age succeeding Obama before him. 82 Americans still do not get fluoride water. Center for Disease Control says, a lot of communities have well water, for instance. Well water isn't fluoride, because it's a waste of money to do it. Fannie and Freddie sink on government rescue fairs. What happened was the stock market got so afraid today that the government was going to bail out the two large home lending institutions that it actually drove the stock market down, and it's going to cause, they said, a 10% increase in people's home mortgages as a result of that bit of nonsense, which basically is going to help destroy people's mortgages even more. Hollywood producers and the Screen Actors Guild could not come to a meeting of the minds. The board of directors of the Screen Actors Guild was elected to be confrontational. They have no desire to settle for anything that isn't going to give them 100% of the pie that they wanted. And they're not going to get it. There may not be any strike this summer, but there's sure not going to be a lot of work because people are going to be afraid to come to strike. South Korea proposes reviving North Korea talks. A few months ago I was watching a thing on television. They were set hundreds of years in the past, during the days of the shoguns in Japan, and it showed how fractionalized North and South Korea were at that time. They weren't called North and South Korea, they were just the North and the South, and if they couldn't get along then, what makes them think they're going to get along now? California National Guard joins firefighting effort. I think it would have been smart to begin with to train National Guard members to be firefighters considering this is Southern California and Northern California, all this is fire area in Northern California, the drought situation. McCain has best fundraiser in June, $22 million. Mr. Obama ended up, they said, $70 million short of the estimate for last month, which doesn't bode well for Mr. Obama because obviously he was bringing in money because he was trying to offset Hillary. And now if he's not battering Hillary, the people aren't putting money up. McCain disagrees with advisors, whining remarks. Well, one of the things that sets Americans aside is Americans sit there and whine and bitch and grump about everything in the world. Then they get off their rear ends and go out and fix it. That's the difference between us. We won't sit on our butts when something has to be done. We will whine about it, though. Can Americans like with less today? Well, yeah, because they're basically talking about the ingredients that goes into the body, and it's not worth as much as it was yesterday because ingredients are too readily available. For Obama and McCain, they have various paths on women's issues. Obama thinks the government should basically dictate what women should do, and McCain basically thinks that, they're the same, aren't they, in a lot of ways. Lennon Peace lyrics sell at auction for $833,000. Fools and money are often part of that thing. Toyota's going to start making hybrid Prius in the United States in 2010. It's not going to do anything to help the situation now, but they're also intending to retool 3 or 4 factories in this country to turn out cars that are going to be more gas-friendly. The major car companies in this country do the same thing, but, heaven forbid that you just simply retool a line and make better cars. They better shut the line down. Astronauts handle explosives on daring spacewalk. Well, they did it because they wanted to see if it could be done, and they proved it can be done. Rice says U.S. will defend Gulf Iran test missiles. The United States is only going to defend the Gulf if Congress is going to allow it. I don't think Congress is going to allow it because the Democrats want the flow of oil stopped so that they can push people into their energy conservation methods. More oil is not friendly to the Democratic Party. Dallas police find cocaine in car used by undercover officer. Yeah, you can guess what was going on in that car. Bush signs new rules on government wiretapping, which will immediately take into court. It's going to be years before this thing gets through. Woman kills husband with folding couch. I've had folding couches. You really must be asleep not to notice that couch closing on you. Fewer non-smokers need cigarette fume center for disease control says, well, it's got to do with the fewer cigarettes being smoked. But you also got to remember, folks, cigarettes are not illegal, and we have a thing that you cannot take from the minority to give to the majority in this country. When you tell people that they shouldn't smoke because the majority doesn't want it done, you're basically telling the minority that majority rules. The majority does not rule. More suspects in frustrating Samanalco. If they take a basic course in criminology, they might be able to figure out there has to be a commonality between all the cases in all 40 states. One thing has to be similar in all 40 states. That's all you have to look for. You don't have to look for, well, let's try to shotgun approach. Maybe this, maybe that. No, it's just one thing only. And let's see, AMA apology to black doctors for fast racism. This is getting to the politically correctness is going on as well. The sins of the father cannot be vested in that of the son. They're trying to vest all the sins. It's the Jewish thing, you guilt forever. 1,000 canceled flights vexed travelers. Well, it's just another example of how the airline is showing total and absolute contempt. Well, they're telling Congress they need something done to get the cost of fuel down. At the same time, they're telling the people to fly their planes drop dead. Let's see, Justice Department's investigating passport breaches. Well, you can order them out on the internet. That's how simple it is to get them. I went through it the old-fashioned way, which is to sit in a chair, wait for hours, go up, answer all the questions, pay my money, and then wait for the time for it to get. That's how it's done. The Senate on Thursday confirmed General Petraeus as the United States Army commanding officer of Central Command. A lot of the people that voted for Mr. Petraeus were the ones who were saying, betray us before. So it's a little bit hypocritical. New poll finds Democrats more tuned in on the early election than Republicans. If you look closely, most of the polling is done in areas that are heavily Afro-American population, and they are really tuned in on getting one of their own as president. We have a money vote of Mark Twain in the animal kingdom. It's only a secret, folks, if nobody else in the world knows about it. If the whole world knows about it, it's not a secret. But isn't that how government works?